21 job interview questions for autism teachers. It will be here before you know it. Interviewing season. Get ready to get your special education teaching resume ready. For many interviews, there are the standard questions and expectations like please list your strengths and your weaknesses and tell us about you. Although it is important to know what a potential teacher feels about themselves, those are not the bits of information that stand out to every interviewer. Special education teacher interview questions may be different from a general education set of interview questions. Here are some things they may want to know if you are trying to land a position in an autism classroom. 1. What do you know about setting up the classroom for students with autism? 2. How is that classroom going to look different from a typical classroom? 3. What supports are you going to have in place in that classroom? 4. What materials are you going to have in the classroom? 5. How will the staff members be utilized in that classroom? 6. What methods do you plan to use to teach social skills to students who need help in that area? Those are some of the things that really pinpoint if somebody has an idea of how to organize their classroom. Even if they have not yet had their own classroom, it is nice to find out if they have a sense of how they're going to make that happen. Additionally, those interviewing you, they may like to know a few other important items like the following. 7. Are you familiar with an IEP? 8. Do you know the IEP process? 9. How do you work with others? 10. Are you able to provide a leadership role in the classroom? And still related to this, what ways do you use leadership skills when working with a team? What is your leadership style? And how are you at directing other people? 11. Are you able to give clear instructions related to what needs to happen for the students? And then 12. Are you able to work with other people and take constructive criticism if something needs to be changed? Most importantly, they may want to know this. 13. How do you deal with disruptive behaviors that may be displayed by students with autism in the classroom, which may look different from disruptions in a typical classroom? 14. What preventative strategies will you use? They may also want to know this. 15. Do you know the principles or ideals behind applied behavior analysis and also structured teaching? 16. If you do not, which many people don't, do you know at least a little bit about it? Other things to think about are here. 17. Can you discuss the link between reinforcement and behavior? And then consider this. 18. What do you know about planned ignoring, or at least what do you know about this concept under whatever name the school calls it? Next, think about this. 19. How do you use preventative materials and supports so that the behaviors don't occur? If you are hired, you may notice that you may be called on to be knowledgeable about behavior supports. So it won't hurt to start learning some of those principles of applied behavior analysis so that you can respond to behaviors in a systematic way and not just act on a whim. So that brings to mind these questions. 20. Are you someone who knows how to de-escalate situations? 21. Do you know some key strategies to de-escalate the situation with a child with autism? To dig a bit further, what if the child is nonverbal or has limited verbal skills? What methods would you use? Also, make sure your special education teaching resume is updated and accurate, and bring about 3 copies to the interview. And don't forget to have a lesson plan in mind in case they ask you for one. Even if these questions do not come up in your special education interview questions, they are critical to think about before taking your first step into the classroom. If you need some ideas to help with the questions asked, or if you want to learn more about running an autism classroom, check out our site at autismclassroom.com. Come and join our mailing list for frequent tips and strategies sent directly to your inbox. And also, thanks for everything you do for your students.